What's going on, guys? We are Tottenham TV here, back again with another video for you guys, and today we are going to be looking at the players who are at Euro 2020 who we could potentially keep an eye on in terms of future potential transfer targets going into next season. Spurs obviously hopefully in for a busy summer, signing some players and getting players over the line, and I think there are going to be a lot of scouts over at Euro 2020, and we're going to be pointing out some players who we think are in key positions that Spurs should be looking at Euro 2020, keeping a very close eye on, and maybe you yourselves can keep a very close eye on and think whether they should be of interest to Tottenham. So let's get through some players. You ready, Slav?
Yeah.
Let's do it. The first player, obviously, is Slovakia's Milan Skriniar. He is going to be playing for Slovakia in the Euros. He'll be in a squad with Spain, Sweden, Poland, and Slovakia, of course. He's the centre-back who plays for Inter Milan. And with Antonio Conte potentially coming, or, well, we have to, that's for a later date. But if he does join Tottenham, we'll definitely be taking a very close look at him over the Euros. Yeah. And do you think Slovakia have a good chance of making out their group with Spain, Sweden and Poland in there?
I don't know too much about the Slovakian squad, unless you do. But it'd be interesting to see some decent sides in there. Lewandowski, obviously, up front for Poland. Mm-hmm. So some good battles in there. Who else? Zlatan's not going. But some decent battles with some strikers.
Spain aren't what they used to be, are they?
Yeah, so they could have a decent chance. You never know.
Yeah, and Skriniar's going to be a big part of that if they do.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he's definitely one to keep an eye on for the Slovaks for sure during the Euros, and especially seeing as there's been so much talk between Spurs and Skriniar. I'm sure a lot of Spurs fans are going to have a keen eye on him for Slovakia. Yeah. Next one is Andrea Belotti for Italy. He's obviously a striker who Spurs have been linked with in the past. A year ago, they were linked with him as a backup to Harry Kane. Apparently, with talks again this summer, especially if Conte comes in, that Spurs could be very much of interest for Belotti. He's definitely a striker who's done very well for Torino over the past few years, and even for a struggling Torino side as well. And if he has a very big Euros, then definitely could convince Tottenham to pay up.
Yeah, I mean, it's a year left on his contract now, or something. Could be a good option, good striker in a poor side. I kind of really wanted him last summer. Obviously, we ended up with Carlos Vinicius, but I think he could do really well for us.
He's kind of like a complete striker as well.
Depends on the manager, I guess, who comes in.
I really like Belotti. I think he's strong, he's tall, he's quite quick as well. He's a good finisher. He's got good leadership skills. He was a captain at Torino as well. Was very, very good being a big fish in a small pond, and it'll be very interesting to see how he does if he gets a move to a bigger club like Tottenham, and definitely is one to keep an eye on if he gets any game time with Italy. But with Immobile and Berardi also in the squad, do you reckon he'll get a lot of game time? Do you reckon he'll be starting for Italy?
Berardi plays out wide. He plays out wide, doesn't he?
Yeah, and then there's Immobile as well. There's Raspadori.
Yeah. I don't know who that last one is.
Also for Sassuolo.
But look, they might play a two up front with Immobile and Belotti, but I think regardless of whether he plays for Italy or not, I think he's a good striker. He's definitely good enough to be a backup striker anyway.
Okay, let's look at the next one. It's Demiral. Merih Demiral for Turkey as well. He is going to be in a group with Italy, Wales, and Switzerland. So he could be facing Belotti, and could be a battle to see who gets the better of what player. Obviously, we've been linked.
Turkey are a bit underdogs this year.
Yeah, dark horses. You got to say Turkey. They've got actually quite a decent squad.
Really good squad. Good defenders anyway. Definitely,
and you got that Çalhanoğlu as well. Burak Yilmaz, who smashed it for Lille this year. So it's going to be interesting to see how they get on. But Demiral for Juventus, obviously linked again last year, but Juventus didn't want to let him go. But after a year now, maybe they'll be more open to it. And he's definitely one to keep your eye on because he's a very high-class defender, a young defender who's had his injury problems, but on his day when he's fully fit is one of the top young defenders.
Yeah, definitely take it. Look, we can't really be picky and choosy with centre-backs at the moment, can we? So I'd take any centre-back at this rate. Yeah,
definitely.
Really good player.
Yeah, Demiral, big fan. Next one is Denzel Dumfries of Holland. He's a right back who plays for PSV. Highly sought after for a lot of teams in Europe this season. I think he's like 24, 25 years of age now. Yeah, big, quite a tall right back, Dumfries, and I think he's even one where if he has a good Euros, we could miss the boat on him in a way, because if he smashes it out, there could be a lot of interest for him.
Yeah.
There's already a bit of
I reckon
interest.
get a cut price from him being at PSV as well. Probably wouldn't cost too much.
And especially when he's playing the likes of Ukraine, Austria, Macedonia in the group stages, he has the potential to really explode in those group stages as an attacking right back. And he's one we should definitely have been looking at, I think, already last summer. And I think we've kind of been a bit late to the party on Dumfries, and now he's definitely one to keep your eye on the Euros. But if he has a big Euros, we could be lower down in the queue, unfortunately. I feel like for him.
Yeah, definitely.
Next up, for me, Pau Torres.
This one's a bit unrealistic.
You think so?
I think
Villarreal centre back. He could be got out for Villarreal.
I think Man United are interested as well. I think he should go to a Champions League club.
You think he's a big lot of potential?
And he's a left-sided defender, left-footed as well.
Perfect for Spurs.
Yeah, which are very rare and very sought after this summer as well. So I don't think he's a realistic option. But you never know. Again, it depends who the manager is and who their targets are. But it depends how much they want for him. There's lots of ifs and buts around some of these players. But
how much do you think he's going for? You reckon this summer?
I reckon they'll ask for 40 million.
He's 24 years old, so he's like in the prime of his career. He's but also fairly young for a centre back, and he's got a really good technical passing range as well.
And he just won the Europa League as well.
He did. He was excellent in the final as well. So
be interesting.
He's definitely one to.
Keep an eye on it, but I think you end up at somewhere like Man United.
Yeah, unfortunately, you might be right, but he's definitely one that we should be keeping an eye on. Next up is a player we've been heavily into with. That's Marcel Sabitzer of Austria. He's going to be in the group with Netherlands, Ukraine, and Macedonia. He was a massive leader last season for Leipzig with 1 year left on his contract. Hopefully, actually, some would say maybe he doesn't. Hopefully, he doesn't have too good a Euros because
he was really good for Austria the other day, wasn't he, against England? So he was really, really impressive. I really like him. He scored twice against us for Leipzig. So I'd love to see this one get done. I think he can play in a few positions as well.
It'd be interesting to see how he deals with being in a big international tournament like the Euros, if he can be as much of a leader and how much influence as he does in the Bundesliga for Leipzig. But if he does, with 1 year left of his contract, I think a lot of the big teams will be sniffing around him if they're not already.
Yeah.
That's the worry. But I think he's one, again, we probably should already be jumping on this, but we're waiting. And if he has a good Euros, we could be losing out. And last but not least is Turkey's Zeki Celik, the right back, who's also going to be at the Euros, playing for Turkey. He's just won the league with Lille. He's definitely a player Spurs could potentially go for, seeing as he's fairly cheap, and he's going to go for about 15 million, and he's got not many years left on his contract. But again, if he smashes out for Turkey, he could be a player that could be of interest. Yeah,
15 million euros, I think they want. We should be all over that. We should do it right now.
Absolutely, and these players are all going to have opportunities to shine in for their respective countries at the Euros, and these are all players we should definitely all be in for. And I like the look of all of them. They all solve different problems we have in the squad.
I think Zeki Celik would be unbelievable for us.
Out of all those players, if you could only pick one, who would it be? Celik, Sabitzer, Torres, Dumfries, Demiral, Belotti, and Skriniar.
Probably Torres.
Pau Torres, he would be your one ahead of Skriniar.
Yeah. Only because he's left-footed.
And he would definitely fit in. For me...
But to be honest, I think we should get Zeki Celik anyway. He's only 15 million euros.
I absolutely agree. Absolutely agree. For me, I think I'll probably go for Dumfries.
Really?
Solving the right-back problem. And he could probably, like a tall right-back who could definitely solve that issue for me. Okay. It's a tough one, though. Let us know in the comments below if there's any other players at the Euros at Euro 2020 who you think we should keep an eye on, who you think could solve problems out in our squad at the moment. Let us know, out of these players, who would be the one you would choose to sign. Like, subscribe and comment. And as always, come on you Spurs.